Greetings, my friends. Welcome to the Grit and Equity Talks podcast with yours truly, Dr. India White. I'm thrilled to be here with each of you. Happy Black History Month, everyone. Before we get started with the show today, I want to go ahead and make some announcements for you. First things first, the Grit and Equity Talks podcast with Dr. India White will be featured on the X Factor EDU network, hosted by Dr. Matthew Joseph. You can also find the Grit and Equity Talks podcast on all of my social media platforms. So if you're wanting to know those platforms are going to be on Facebook, Miss India White. Then LinkedIn is the India White. Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach. Instagram is Indie238. Um, YouTube is India White 123, and TikTok is Dr. India White. I would encourage you to check out my website whenever you get a chance for books, blogs, or to schedule me for a speaking and coaching event to help your school, your district, your organization. We always have a great time together. I'm looking forward to getting gritty with many of you for some upcoming events that I already have scheduled. And thank you to everyone for those opportunities. Some of those are going to be in Missouri. We'll be doing some really cool, gritty things there. Also, the NCSM virtual conference. Thank you so much to NCSM leaders for this phenomenal opportunity. And also, I'm super excited about the Vermont Council of Teachers and Mathematics Conference coming up, where I've had the honor to be a keynote for that. So I'm looking forward to joining you guys there. And I know there are some other events in between as well. So I'm looking forward to joining you guys on all of these platforms. So let's stay gritty. Let's do some great things together. I also wanted to remind you to please check out the Grit Mini Workshop on the Grassroots Workshops website by Robert Kaplinski and his team. That the name of that workshop is How to Harness Grit to Help Students Thrive. Um, and then also, I wanted to remind you guys of the Grit Academy. If you're needing students that need tutoring, support, things like that, please have them enroll in the Grit Academy. You can get with me whenever you get a chance, and we will make it happen. Um, Now, this particular podcast is if you are seriously trying to close the achievement gap, but you're having classroom management issues or your students just aren't motivated to do work, then you can join me on the Grit and Equity Talks podcast to talk about some things. So with that said, I do want to talk a little bit about Black History Month. There's been so much just in general about celebrating Black History Month, celebrating Black mathematicians and leaders across not only the United States, but across the globe. But I do want to highlight and just give a shout out to many of these leaders. And for those of you out there that, you're in the education space and you're like, I don't really know India how to celebrate. I want to, but I don't know how to celebrate Black History Month without offending or, stepping on someone's toes. Then I would encourage you to do some, research, see if you can find anything on Google, which I'll share some things for you. See if there are some organizations that can help you as well in your search of really celebrating Black History Month. And then go from there. With that said, I do want to first, just give everyone in my circle of influence, all of the African American Black mathematicians that are incredible across this nation that are doing great things. I want to wish all of them Black History Month, happy Black History Month to every Black principal, every Black leader, everyone across the nation, across the globe that is really making a monumental difference. I want to celebrate all of you at this time and say thank you for your contributions and do not stop. With that said, I do also want to go into honoring a special friend / mentee of mine, or mentor, someone that I look up to. This person is so humble. They never sing their own praises, but they are really spearheading math education and doing so many great things. And when I Google searched Black History Month, celebrating, Black mathematicians for Black History Month, their page came up and there was a new newspaper article on them. So I said, yay, yes, we are going to celebrate them together. So with that said, we are going to celebrate a phenomenal friend, colleague of mine, and that is Dr. Shelly Jones. I want to pull up for you the article that I was able to find um, on Dr. Shelly Jones and the phenomenal work she has been doing. So, giving you a hand, Dr. Shelly Jones. So, this was just produced February 11th, yesterday, or a couple days ago. It says Black math educator introduces students to women who count in book documenting the history of African American mathematicians. If you want the truth about Black history, culture responsive teaching, things like that, then Dr. Shelly Jones is your person. She is the truth. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy she made this. This is Illinois State University. They did a little write up on her. It's fabulous. So it says, so we're going to celebrate her together. Okay, guys, I'm like smiling from ear to ear because I'm loving this for her. So it says, Dr. Shelly Jones, PhD in 2002, has always enjoyed learning about math and science, but she loves teaching about these subjects even more. Her passion for education led Jones to pursue a PhD in math education at Illinois State University and author the book Women Who Count, Honoring African American Women Mathematicians. She's also authored other books, guys, that are phenomenal that you can find in Corwin. Anyways, it says here, I am a teacher's teacher. Jones, a professor of math education at Central Connecticut State University, said, I learn so much from my students, whether they are pre-service teachers or teachers in the classroom. Jones, who grew up or was a middle school algebra teacher in Bridgeport, Connecticut, she picked Illinois State for her PhD program because of a grant. Thank goodness we have those grant programs, right? And then it says she was working towards her doctorate degrees, uh, and then our middle school educators working towards their doctorate degrees. Excuse me. She described Illinois State's program as a powerhouse for or of math educators who made her feel confident in her decision to become a math teacher. I understood how to teach math, but once you get a PhD in the subject, it brings it to a whole nother level. Yes, it does. And kudos to you, Dr. Jones. And so then it says here, she says, um, you're really learning about students, how students learn and how to engage teachers in professional learning so that they're lifelong learners. Right. And then in 2019, Jones extended her impact beyond the classroom by authoring Women Who Count. It's a math activity book designed for third through eighth grade students. So if you guys need some culturally responsive or just you want another voice, a diverse perspective on what works, this is a fabulous book. I encourage you to go get it. Women Who Count, Honoring African American Women Mathematicians. Um, and I also want to put a plug in her other book on culturally relevant math tasks, which you can find with Corin. It's not just her; it's some other phenomenal authors as well. Um, so yes, I am giving her flowers today. Now, this says the book features biographies of 29 African American women, including women who worked for NASA, the first three African American women to earn doctorates in math. Wow. And other pioneers in the field. Jones also included contemporary mathematicians, such as scholars like Dr. Talitha Washington and Dr. Chelsea Walton. Excellent. The inspiration for Women Who Count initially came from Jones' colleague, who recommended the book Hidden Figures to her a few months before the movie premiered in 2016. She says, I never knew these Black women existed and helped with this space race, said Jones. I think having role models like these women will help young girls and boys to know that all kinds of people can do all kinds of things. Women Who Count contains biographies for each mathematician with their accomplishments, the type of math that they do, and some fun facts to help keep them engaged. Oh, look at her. This is so cute. Oh, look at the little girls. Oh, this is precious. There she is, shining away. I love it. And then let's keep reading. So it says, um, I want to show them the kind of math activities you can do are interesting, fun, and that math is more than just a worksheet in the classroom. Yes, I want to make connections to what they do in the classroom, but I want it to be more about the enjoyment of math and how you can connect to things you do in real life. So in addition to Women Who Count, she's also co-authored two books about culturally relevant math education. I'm loving this. Yes, with Dr. Lou Matthews and Dr. Yolanda Parker. I love this. Okay, it says Okay, the book is titled Engaging in Culturally Relevant Math Tasks, Fostering the Hope in Elementary Classroom, contains an edition for both elementary and secondary levels. Fabulous. Okay, and then it says, um, along with learning, Jones hopes some students are driven to pursue a career in the field. As a first generation college student, Jones didn't know she could earn an undergraduate degree in math. So instead, she pursued a bachelor's in computer science. So she's always been a brain and becoming a programmer before pivoting into the math education field. Fabulous. Um, so in her 30 years, Jones appreciation for trailblazing mathematicians such as Dr. Evelyn Boyd Granville, which is right here, pictured with her. She's the second African American woman to earn a PhD in math, has increased exponentially. She got to meet her at the National Association of Mathematicians 50th celebration in 2019. Awesome. Give her flowers, right? This is awesome. So it says, it was really a big deal for me to have written about her in the book, seeing the pioneering work she did for NASA and other places, and to introduce her at that event. That's awesome. She never wanted me to stop doing math and helping students, even in her retirement. So this is awesome. So during Black History Month, Jones says it's important to learn about and honor the legacy of impactful African Americans such as Granville. Some people think we should honor our ancestors all year, and I agree with that. But having this time set aside is important. I do think women should be uplifted so that there are more role models for all students, but in particular young Black girls, so that they can see that they can do things in STEM. And I'm thankful because, it's the Dr. Shelly Jones is out there that inspire people like me to continue to move forward as well. Thank you, Dr. Shelly Jones, for your contribution as well. I know we're honoring these awesome rock stars like, the Katherine Johnsons and whatnot, Dr. Katherine Johnson. But, you also deserve to be honored. And so I'm giving you your flowers on the Grit and Equity Talks podcast. So let's continue to support and celebrate people like Dr. Shelly Jones. I now want to transition into another pretty cool thing I found of other mathematicians, and not just females, but just influential mathematicians in general. And so I wanted to kind of show you this. So it says influential. Can you see this? Influential Black mathematicians then and now. And so it says, what is a mathematician? Mathematicians, they work to solve problems using data and formulas. They work in a large variety of fields, including academia, medicine, security, film, and more nearly anywhere that requires the use of a computer. The field is rapidly growing, but less than 1% of all mathematical doctoral degrees are received by Black Americans. That's very interesting. Okay, and then it says here, today we're diving into prominent Black mathematicians in history, going all the way from 1919 to today, showing students that pursuing a career in math is achievable. Okay, so the first one that we see here is John Urschel. So Urschel is an ultimate mathlete. He played as an offensive lineman for Baltimore Ravens and is now a professor at MIT. Urschel juggled advanced math classes in football practice through his time at Penn State and pursued his PhD full-time while working full-time in the professional football. His advice is to not compare yourself while also seeking to improve yourself. I love it. The next one, Candace Renee Price, 1980 to present. Candace Price is an associate professor, founder, and mathematician. After earning her doctoral degree in math, she co-founded Mathematically Gifted in Black. I like that. A nationally awarded website that celebrates the achievements of Black mathematicians. She teaches at Smith College and advocates for greater representation of women and people of color in STEM. Congrats to her. Next, Ed Ray Goins. This is the next person I want to highlight. So this says they are a mathematician focusing on number theory and algebraic geometry. He served as the president of the National Association of Mathematicians and spent his time engaged with underrepresented students pursuing math and running in the National Science Foundation funded research program that he founded, Pomona Research in Mathematics Experience, which is PRIME, at Pomona College where he teaches. He tells students to learn more about their field by talking to professors outside of class and getting involved on campus, plus using YouTube as a resource. I like that. Okay, here's the next one. Mae Jemison is an accomplished engineer and was the first Black woman to travel into space. Awesome. It says on top of her career as an astronaut, she's a published author, professor, and a summer camp founder. Today, she works with consulting company that she founded, the Jemison Group, and leads a 100-year Starship project, which um, allows humans to travel to another star in the next 100 years. That's awesome. Her advice is to excel in school and to remember that the sky is not the limit. Beautiful. So this is really neat. As you can see, we're getting, um, I just want to stop sharing really quick. It's just beautiful to know that we have all of this richness of these amazing people that have accomplished so much. And sometimes you have to slow down and smell the flowers. Sometimes it's imperative to slow down and appreciate those that are different, those that are diverse, that are giving their all, and just to honor them, give them proper dignity and honor, to say thank you. And so that's what I hope to do on the show today, because even as I continue to learn as a scholar myself, it's so imperative for myself and others to see that there has been representation, because it gives us a hope that we can do it too. Um, and then also, I have children, so my children are also looking, and this is beautiful because we continue to move the needle forward together as a race, together as a nation, and that's what we need more than anything. So I think this is really neat. So I want to now go back and share it again with you guys. Let's keep reading. So this one, Annie Easley, from 1933 to 2011, she enjoyed a 34-year-long career at NASA, where she worked as a human computer and a rocket scientist. Wow. She spent most of her career without a college degree and did substantial work for NASA to address gender and race complaints. She helped people in her community pass literacy tests to vote and was a founding member of the NASA Lewis Ski Club, even though she didn't learn to ski till she was 46. Cute. Let's look at the next one. David Blackwell. David Blackwell was a leader in a dynamic programming with multiple theories and concepts named after him. Blackwell taught himself how to read growing up, becoming the first Black tenured professor at the University of California, Berkeley, and the first Black scholar to be admitted into the National Academy of Sciences. He is known for applying a game theory to important military situations. So I think it's beautiful that we can take time to honor these beautiful people for what they've done, um, for our nation, and for so many others. And it's so interesting. We get the same list, the same amazing African Americans, but sometimes it's just good to spice it up and to know how far this stretches. I mean, we've had so many people in this space that have helped us from creating the GPS and beyond that. We need to just take that moment to honor them and do it right, say their name and give them that recognition. And then if you know someone, you have a colleague, that's doing great things, slow down enough and let them know that you appreciate them and you appreciate them in the space, and that you're giving them their flowers as well. And so the thing I love about it is it's so refreshing to know that we can come together and celebrate like this. And I think it really does speak to the unity and speaks to just how hard we fought as a nation to continue to join together, no matter our backgrounds and things like that. So I did want to share that with you guys. And now I want to share another really cool article that I found that's going to continue along that theme. And it is titled "The Celebration of Black History Month at Argonne." And so Argonne, it's a national laboratory company. They are spotlighting the contributions of their colleagues, and one that is a national level winning ACT SO student. So this is really neat. Let's look and see. So it says advances in science and technology at the U.S. Department of Education's Argonne National Laboratory take place thanks to contributions of many individuals making up its diverse workforce. So, in celebrating Black History Month, they are shining spotlight on a few of their contributors, and they are shining right back. So, the first one, this looks like Sean Jones. Okay, it says he is a director for science and technology. So he came to Argonne last October as the new deputy director for science and technology. He's Argonne's chief research officer and its senior science strategist and advisor. That's what he does there. It says, assuming this role at Argonne was a culmination of career achievements that included being awarded 9 U.S. patents and being recognized as an industry expert in the luminescent materials and fabrication of optical waveguides. Amazing. Before joining Argonne, he served as the assistant director, oh, wow, of the National Science Foundation's 1.6 Directorate for Mathematical and Physical Sciences, where he stewarded multidisciplinary science centers, user facilities, and research programs in the domains of astronomy, physics, chemistry, and materials science. Um, Sean's scientific education was fostered by the supportive parents and mentors while growing up in South Carolina. His father was a physicist. See, these are stories we need to hear, right? We need to share this with students. His father was a physicist. His mother was a speech pathologist and a college professor. Beautiful. That's awesome. They instilled in him the importance of education regardless of race, color, and creed. They also learned, or he also learned about resilience or grit, fairness, and the importance of education. I like it because he's very gritty. It says here he was in fifth grade when his parents gave him a chemistry set, which was pivotal to setting his trajectory in science. That was a STEM spark moment for me when science became real, tangible, and accessible. I was sold. He added. But it was my experience in an undergraduate engineering lab fabricating, characterizing, and testing this thing here, which I don't know what that is, superconducting sample that sealed my interest in pursuing a PhD. The challenges in the lab to make real new materials were fascinating, and I fell in love with basic research. He earned his bachelor's degree in ceramic engineering from Clemson University and his master. Look at this! He's a gator! Yay! This is awesome. Okay, sorry. This is amazing. He is a gator, so he earned his doctoral degrees, plural, in materials, science, and engineering from the University of Florida. I'm loving this, Dr. Sean Jones. All right. Okay, so it says Sean first heard about argon through colleagues who did research from the Advanced um, Photon Source, a DOE Office of Science user facility. Then, while he was at NSF, he became very familiar with argon facilities and researchers, even funding several of the instruments. Okay, so he's just doing amazing things. Then let's scroll down a little bit. It says Sean now works with Argonne Laboratory Director Paul Kearns, the lab's chief operating officer, and the associate laboratory directors to implement a lab-wide science strategy and to further develop Argonne's 1.1 billion multidisciplinary science and technology portfolio. It encompasses 21 research divisions, 6 national scientific user facilities, and over 1,700 research and technical staff. Look at that. His parents gave him a chem set, and look what he's done with that. And his grit is built up. Well done, my Gator fellow, my Gator friend, Dr. Sean Jones. Now, I want to give Nadine Lancome her flowers. So it says that she is a general counsel, legal department. Um, she is the chief legal counsel. She brought more than 25 years of experience as an attorney to the lab when she arrived in 2023. Excellent. Um, that she has a depth of experience gained on the staffs of several government agencies, including, oh wow, cool, Regional Transportation Authority of Northeastern Illinois, the Illinois Department of Central Management Services, and beyond. She's amazing. She's made difficult choices. One was while she was working on businesses that refused to feature openly gay colleagues in the U.S. Supreme Court legal work on behalf of an LGBTQ plus advocacy organization. When submitted for posting on a company site that featured accomplishments, the work was deemed unsuitable, but she interceded, but management wouldn't budge, even though the company had approved her colleagues' work. So she declined that new role that would have intentionally downplayed the diverse aspects of her work. She eventually then landed with another firm, saying that she felt better about herself as a lawyer and a person for doing what was consistent with my values. So then she continued to blossom, and she became the first Black woman to be the RTA's general counsel, where she held that position for more than 10 years. Now, she said it was a no-brainer move or moment, given that she had focused on sciences as an undergraduate, earning a Bachelor of Science from the University of Illinois. Oh, look at that. Dr. Shelly Jones, so very close nearby. And then it says here, her Juris Doctor from the University of Michigan. Excellent. Wow. She says, I was always fascinated by biological sciences, but more recently by AI and other legal issues stemming from technological advances. She says, my parents instilled a profound love in math and science, so practicing law at Argonne was a perfect fit. Love it. Now, I think that's awesome that we can give them their flowers and celebrate uh, their accomplishments. I'm sure they have so many others, but for the sake of time, I'm going to cut it short. But if you are a corporate leader and you have someone of African American or Black descent, I would highly encourage you to you know give them a shout out and celebrate them. Celebrate how hard they work, especially just how they've been an asset to your organization. And hey, why not? What does it hurt to love on others and to give others that sense of recognition, giving them their flowers, as Gen Z would say. So with that said, guys, thanks so much for joining me again on the Grit and Equity Talks podcast with Dr. India White. This has been a wonderful time as we have celebrated Black History Month. um, Again, this show, the Grit and Equity Talks, will be featured on the X Factor EU network, hosted by Dr. Matthew Joseph. Which, by the way, thank you, Dr. Matthew Joseph, for the shout out that you gave myself and many other wonderful Black African Americans in your newsletter. Please check out his newsletter as well. But this show will also be found on Spotify. And you can also find it on all of my main social media outlets. So you've got Facebook as Miss India White, Twitter's Indie Speak and Teach, TikTok's Dr. India White, YouTube is India White 123 and beyond. I do have some upcoming events with you guys. I will see you guys at the NCSM virtual conference. I will see you in Vermont, and I'm super excited about that. And I just can't wait to join you. And thank you all for the opportunity. With that said, I am going to continue to encourage you to check out the website also, www.india-white.com, for books or blogs, or to schedule me for your next speaking event. And again, thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, stay gritty. See ya.